and 1. Be there now. Tell me what you experience or sense is happening.
I see sort of this, like, it looks like an ocean, but it's not like a regular ocean. It's a darker sky, almost like there's a sun in the sky, but it's dark. The water's dark, almost like a purple color. I don't know, it doesn't look like Earth. It looks like another planet. Are you there?
Do you get the sense the skies?
I'm sorry.
Get the
Thought I
sense
lost you.
the sky is dark because it's nighttime or something else?
I feel like it's just a darker sky, almost like it's a purpley color sky.
Hmm. Do you see
Maybe
any?
it's darker. Maybe it's nighttime, but it's like the sun is, I guess it's a sun. It's just really bright, but then it's dark. It's contrast. It's weird.
Do you see anything else in the sky?
No, it's just like a flat image that I'm seeing.
Do you get the sense if your body is male or female?
I don't.
What else do you sense is happening around you? Get any sense? Use all of your knowing. Why are you in this space?
It's just peaceful, just calming.
You're able to see the ground. You get a sense of what you're standing on.
It's like I don't know. I feel like it's fading away now.
Bring all your focus back to that beautiful ocean and the dark sky. And you had the sense that this was not Earth. What made you sense that?
Just felt different by the way the sky looked. Just doesn't look like anything that we would see here.
Is there anything else you can describe for me? I'd really like to know more about this place, though, with the ocean and the dark sky. That's not Earth. Did you get a sense of where it might be?
I heard a place I like to go when I sleep.
Ah, very good. So it's a peaceful place you go when you sleep. Do you get the sense it's your home planet?
I heard home before you said that.
Because I've heard that we all go home in our sleep.
And then, of course, Pleiades just popped in my head, but I don't know if that's just because that's what I think.
Do you get the sense if you're there by yourself, or do you feel there's anyone there with you?
I feel like I'm alone. I get a sense that I'm female, but I don't get that very strong.
Do you get the sense you're in the body you have now? A different body?
It's different. It's not very clear, but it feels taller and thinner. feel like I have longer arms, and
Mm.
what I'm sensing that I'm wearing is like it's almost like a dress or a gown. It's very form fitting. Feels like it's like a purpley gray color, goes all the way down to my feet.
Beautiful.
I don't feel humanoid. I get a sense that I look a little bit different.
Mm. Are you able to get a visual on your feet? Do you have any idea what skin color you are, how many toes you have?
It feels like my skin is really light, like a white, creamy white color.
Mm.
Feels like I have bigger eyes. Like I don't look humanoid, I look a little bit different. I have hair, bright blonde hair, sort of pulled back.
About the shape of your head, does that feel different?
Different. It does feel different. Not as oval or round as we have it, more, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost, I don't want to say bug like because it's not bug like, but it's got a different shape to it. That,
Like bigger cheekbones, perhaps wider?
yeah, wider, more curvature to the face.
And how does your hair feel? Is it thick, thin? You get the sense?
Short, just pulled back.
Very good. Your
I have long,
hands.
long, thin fingers.
Do you think you have 5 fingers or?
Feels like I have 4.
Mm. Fingernails?
Long, sort of pointed a little bit, not pointy, but shaped, rounded at the end.
Very good. And as you sit in this place we think is your home, that's not Earth, you get the sense of why you're here. Is it just to relax, or is there something else you need to do?
Feels like I'm a healer here.
Mhm.
I come here to learn. I come here to practice. Bring things back with me. It's where I go at night sometimes, so that I can learn ways of healing to help me here now.
Very good. Use all of your knowing. Tell me more about the things you bring back.
Just getting ways to heal the body more naturally, energetically. I'm hearing things that will help me in the future.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about what you do between Earth and this place. Do you get the sense?
Feels like I work with other healers, but I don't sense anybody around me. It also feels like we may be doing work there that's assisting on the planet.
On
Maybe we come
Earth.
together. Yeah. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we're doing things there with healing and somehow bringing it back. I don't know. I just see like my hands raised up towards the sky. I don't know if I'm pulling in energy
Mhm.
and bringing it into the body.
Would that be from the sun or?
So I just get it, I pull it from the air. Wherever this place is, you can pull it from the air, bring it into the body. But what do I do with it?
And how does that help your body?
There, it keeps the body healed and strong. I'm wondering if there's some connection that I'm supposed to understand about what I'm doing here.
Don't overthink. Just know what's in the air that helps the body. What kind of energy is it?
Life force energy.
Do you feel like you age in this place?
Not like we do here.
Tell me if you sense anything else about this life force energy and how it helps you.
I just feel like I know how to work with the energy in this place. Like I know how to pull the energy through the air, wherever it comes from. Maybe it comes from that sun. But I know how to pull it into the body and somehow utilize it. And I feel like maybe that's connected to this life. Eventually, I'll be able to pull the energy in through the body and to work with it for the purpose of healing. I feel like maybe that's what I'm doing there, is just learning these techniques, and that maybe I'm not doing it now, but in the future, we'll be able to pull in energy when our environment, our atmosphere is cleaner. Not now, because we don't have the right energies, I don't think. But eventually we will be able to keep wanting to lift my palms up, like almost like I'm channeling in the energy and it flows into the body. Then I'm also seeing that we can use the energy. Maybe it's like once we pull the energy in to the body, it's almost like we're charging ourselves up, and then we can push the energy out with the hands. We can direct it. I do this a lot. I do this with my animals. I'm always trying to push energy into their bodies, clear energies off with my hands, move energies around. So I think this is something that in the future I and others will be able to do. And so it feels like in dream state, I go into this place. Maybe it's just trying to remind me, or maybe it's helping me to learn, or maybe I'm practicing. And then I'm pulling that information back down into this lifetime so that whenever that time comes, I'll have an understanding of how we can use those energies to heal not only ourselves, but others.
Very good. As you hold your hands up and draw this energy in, do you get the sense of where, is there a particular place in the body it charges, or is it all over the body? Do you sense?
I feel like it just comes into the whole body.
It's
Almost
just
like we
stored.
can just pull it in. Nowhere in particular. We just have it. It's like we have that life force energy, that God source energy running through us. And we can charge ourselves up with this God source energy, this life force energy. And then we can direct it for the purpose of healing where it needs to go, in another person or in the plants or in the animals or wherever that energy needs to be directed.
Do you get the sense the atmosphere is different in the place you're seeing?
Yeah, for sure. It's still sparkly. It feels like there's just energy in the air. It's good energy. Like I'm getting the sense that here we don't have that good energy because we just have so much chemicals and crap sprayed in our atmosphere. And it's just, there's still a heaviness that's clearing. That's got to clear. But eventually we'll have something similar where we can just take in that energy. It's like osmosis. Is that a thing? Through osmosis? What is osmosis?
I'm not sure. I've heard it
Not
before.
either. We'll have to look it up. Is that just I feel like that's just taking something in the body where you don't have to even think about it. It just happens. We'll have to look that one up.
Tell me more about the sparkly atmosphere. What's special?
It's just clean. It's just charged. It's like the air is charged. It's charged with the energies that you need. Everything that you need is in the air. It's just there. And so you can channel that energy in for healing for yourself and for others.
Very good.
So I'm being reminded of when I had an Akashic record reading with Debbie Solaris in 2019. And she said one of my first incarnations in the Pleiades was in Merope. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it was like a psycho-spiritual healer. It's a planet or star system known for their energy healing work. It's pretty much, she said, I don't know if this is true, but what all that planet is known for, and that people travel or beings travel to this place to get the healing because that's all they do there. I mean, that's what they focus on. And I'm feeling like that's what this place is that I'm looking at. And that's why in this place I'm a healer.
Do you get the sense of who you heal in this place? Is it just other beings like you, or?
I keep getting glimpses of like a circle, almost a circle of women. And we come together to do this healing work, but I don't see others there. So I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but I'm not seeing that right now.
What do you sense is the purpose of this circle of women? Are they healers as well? Like a gathering of healers?
I'm just hearing channelers of energy, channeling energy. They come together to channel the energies in. What do we do with it?
Is it more powerful when you're all together?
Yeah, absolutely. I keep hearing heal the earth, heal the land. So I don't know if that's where like I have an aspect now and we come together to send healing to the earth.
Yes.
Feels like we may be channeling energy in there and sending it here as well.
Do you get the sense of how you send it here? Is it just intention or
Focused intention? Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about
Power of your mind. What we think about, we understand there that our thoughts are very powerful, and What we think about and what we focus on is what we create. And so we take these energies and we focus them where we want them to go. And when you're in a higher state of consciousness as we exist in there, we can easily focus the energies to other places outside of our own dimension.
I want you to be in that circle now, and I want you to see and feel. Do you just picture the earth and where you want to direct it to in particular?
Yes, and we use love. We send lots of love. We feel so much love for the earth. We feel so much love for the planet and the beings that are on it and for what they've been through. And so we just think about how much we love them and we direct our energy there. We beam it down to them and we visualize it flowing where it needs to go. And we see the planet becoming healed and we see it becoming stronger and we see the people becoming happy. We visualize what we wish for the planet and we send that energy. And I'm getting that there's many, many beings that do this work. They come together in groups and they focus their energies. And that's how we're receiving a lot of these energies too, is it's beings all over the galaxy, all over the universe that have an understanding and awareness of what we're going through at the moment. And they're sending us love on an ongoing basis to help us, to help lift these energies that we've been stuck in, to help release the fears and the pain and the suffering and the sadness. And there's so many, and there's so much love. Like I feel that love now. There's so much love being directed towards us. We have so much help and assistance. It's beautiful.
Tell me more about how it's helping.
It's just raising the frequency and the vibration. The energies flow in, and that love energy it pushes stuff to the surface. It's why so much is surfacing right now. That higher frequency energy is pushing the density up. It's pushing it up to release. There's so much heavy energy on this planet and it's got to come off.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are those of us here that are doing this work in the physical, and there are so many beings out there that are also assisting by sending their love and their healing energies. There are planets and places where the energy is just different than it is here. And so they can pull from those different sources and they can channel that energy in and they can focus it. It's what we're taught through our guidance. Focus the energy where you want it to go. They're not focused on everything that's playing out in our reality because they understand that that's what we're trying to move away from. So they focus on seeing this planet surrounded and wrapped in love. They focus on seeing all of the beings and the people that are living on this planet, all of the animals being happy and healthy. They see the waters being cleared and the earth being cleansed, and they see her vibrant and shining because they know that's how she truly is meant to be. They bring in these energies in such an effortless way because that's what they know. It's not what we know, but we will know it because that's what's changing for us now. And so as these energies flow in, not only from source, not only from the sun, not only from these beings, and all of the beings that are in our skies, that are above our earth, that are assisting, these energies are assisting us in pushing and releasing all of this dark energy to the surface. And that's why we're seeing it. It's coming out in so many different ways. And it feels very, very uncomfortable. But this is just part of the process of releasing that energy. So as those beautiful high frequency energies of love and of light and of freedom begin to flow in, because that's what they want for us. They want us to have our freedom. Those energies flow in it starts to shake a person up, and it begins to dislodge these energies, just like we do in these sessions. We're dislodging and releasing these energies. And so as more of these energies come in, it's going to become more intense. And especially for those who are just not aware that they need to be doing this releasing process, because there's going to come a time where it's going to have to come up. It has to release so that we can shift into that higher dimension. We can't move into that higher dimension, into that higher state of consciousness with all that heavy energy trapped within.
Do you get the sense of how long you've been doing this healing on Earth for?
I just heard eons of time.
Okay.
I don't know if that's me specifically or if it means others, but healing has been happening for a long time.
Do you get the sense?
I've been a healer in many lifetimes, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Do you know how many lifetimes? Get the sense?
Countless.
Mm-hmm.
Countless lifetimes. I've been healers of many different types of healers. It's almost like you, as a healer, you want to try different ways of healing and different ways of working with energy. I've worked with energy through many different lifetimes, so that's why I've always been drawn to it and had a deeper understanding of one's energetic makeup.
Yes. Wonderful. And does it feel, as this being in this place, that Earth has much further to go with its healing? Tell me more about that.
There's lots of healing that has to happen. There's lots of people who are unaware of the shift that we're moving through. It's going to become more in their face. It's going to become hard not to see it eventually. We do have a ways to go, but we're moving through it faster because the more of us that heal ourselves, we begin to radiate that energy out. It's almost like what, I was being shown with channeling in the energy and then focusing it where you want it to go. For those of us who are doing the healing work and really clearing our systems out, we're bringing that life force energy in through the body, and that just naturally radiates out. So when you're around a group of people and they can be very dense, they can have a lot of darkness and heaviness, your energy is doing exactly what the energy from the beings that are sending that down, it's pushing that energy up. It doesn't happen, in a too big of a way, but it's almost like your energy is dislodging the energy of others, and it brings those things to the surface that they have to start looking at. So that's why it's so important for those of us who are aware of this shift to become completely balanced energetically so that we can radiate that energy, because we're the ground crew and we're assisting just as much as those of a higher dimension are assisting.
And how is this shifting of energy going to, what effect is it going to have on those that aren't aware of what's happening? What will we expect to see?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because it's going to push things to the surface much more quickly for them. Whereas we have an awareness and we have the time to spend working on ourselves. It's going to come to a point where the energy is going to become so intense. All of that darkness is going to start to surface, and they're going to have to look at all of it all at once. And that's why when we're in these sessions and we hear there are those of us that are going to assist the ones who are having to look at that energy very quickly. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to help them to understand why this energy is coming to the surface so quickly, why things seem to be crumbling around them. And we're going to hold that stable energy that is going to help them get through what it is that they need to get through.
And how do we best prepare ourselves for this as healers?
It's the inner work that we talk about all the time. It's the self-care. It's taking care of yourself. It's doing the healing work that we need. And that's why these sessions are so important, because they help us to release any type of energy work. Your sound bath that you did yesterday, that's amazing, because all of those things are helping to get that energy out. So we're energy and frequency and vibration, and things that we work with in energy healing, like light and color and sound and energy, all of those things hold frequency, and they help to shift the frequencies in the body. They help to release that energy. Anything that a person can do at this time to help themselves. And it's not about really at this point worrying about anybody else, because that takes your focus away from you. And it's the more of us that can be in complete balance and alignment are going to assist those who need us most. So if you can bring your attention back to yourself as much as possible, and do all of the things that you do, that you feel guided to do, that you need to do to get your energy clear and to begin to irradiate that pure, positive life force energy, that is exactly where you need to be, because there needs to be a lot of us to do this work. It's going to become more intense, and we're going to see a lot more come to the surface. A lot of truths will come to the surface. And as those truths come to the surface, a lot of people are going to have a hard time. We've had time to acclimate to these truths. We've had time to see the darkness and see some of the very deep, dark things that are going on this planet. And we have had to acclimate to each thing that we come across in our own way. There are going to be many people that are going to have these truths hit one right after the other, right after the other. And it's going to overwhelm their system, because it's going to shake the foundation of who they believed themselves to be, or who they believed, what they believed about their life. It's going to crumble around them, and they're going to feel like their whole life has been a lie, where so many of us have just had, years to ease into what's coming. So the most important thing for anyone is to work on yourself. It's your inner work. It's your meditating. It's your inner healing. It's taking good care of your physical body. It's grounding. It's being in nature. It's bringing in as much love and compassion and forgiveness into your heart as you possibly can, and letting go of all of the things that are holding you back and keeping you in resistance. We need to clear all of that out, because there's so much work that we're going to have to do in the future, just of helping people get their energies in balance and alignment.
I was just about to ask, how are we going to help those in shock when all these changes happen? What's the best way?
Part of it is just going to be having an understanding. They're going to have someone to turn to, for them to have someone to turn to. And we'll stand out. We'll almost like, I'm almost seeing like we radiate, we glow. Maybe not, we don't really glow, but we glow in a sense that these people can find us. Mm-hmm. I lost the question.
How can we help those in shock?
And it's just the other thing that was coming through was, again, understanding how energy works, understanding how to pull energy. It's like we do in these sessions when we pull energy in the body, we're using energy to heal. We will be able to utilize energy through our hands and to help calm people simply by the energy that we're able to focus. It's our focused intention. So it's partly just understanding and helping them to understand. It's part being able to channel energies in, calming energies that they need. And we'll just know it's an inner knowing that we all came with. It's within each one of us. And as we move forward, more of that inner knowing and awareness is going to be activated. It's going to become a natural thing. We're going to step back into the healers that we've been in so many lifetimes. It's almost as if we're pulling those different aspects back into this that we are today. We're reintegrating all of those lifetimes where we were very powerful healers, and we will just know what to do with it.
Beautiful. Do you get the sense of how this knowing will come in, how we'll remember all of the talents and gifts we've had to help?
It's just they'll activate when the time is right. When it's time for that to come back online, it'll just activate within us.
So we already have that within us, do you think? Or will it be light
Absolutely.
codes? Or?
Absolutely. It's the way that they're showing me is just reintegrating those parts. So let's say you were a healer in another lifetime and you were a very talented healer. It's almost like that part will re-emerge with you, and you will have access to all those gifts and abilities. And I'm not sure if you're going to know exactly what to do with all of it at that moment, but you will integrate that in.
Do you get the sense that's something to do with our DNA or something else, this activation?
Yeah, I'm getting that your DNA is connected through all lifetimes. It's like everything is sort of etched into your DNA.
Like a library.
Kind of, yeah. Like everything that you've lived is sort of stored in that DNA.
Beautiful. Is there anything else we need to know about helping others at this time?
I'm just getting that it's going to be rough for a while, and it's going to be intense, and we're going to see a lot of changes, lots of shifts around us with the earth, with people, with things coming to the surface. But when we get on the other side of it, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be worth everything that we are going through now and everything we're going to be moving through. And it's all part of a greater plan that's playing out. And as much as we can do just to trust that there is a plan that is in place, and we don't have to do or worry about anything other than taking care of ourselves and doing the healing work that we need. It's the number one most important thing that anyone can do at this time.
Beautiful. Thank you. So a lot of us have been feeling very drained, very tired, not very motivated. How can we keep our energy up when we're feeling so low and unmotivated to do anything?
It's the energies as they're coming in. They come in bursts. And so when that energy comes in a burst, it sort of begins to loosen things within you. We're also integrating a lot of energy. And again, the higher your consciousness level is, the more work that you do clearing, the more you're able to begin to integrate the light. So we're integrating more of these light codes that are coming in, and it takes time for those to fully integrate. It's I think we think that sometimes things just happen like that, just so rapidly, but it takes time for the body to integrate these light codes and this information that's coming in. It makes you feel tired. It makes you feel, it can make you feel unmotivated. It sort of can shut the brain off because you need to be in a quieter space for this energy to integrate. If you're busy, 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 and doing all the things that you feel like you're supposed to be doing, your body's not integrating all of the energies and the frequencies and the coding that's coming in. So sometimes, and I'm even getting that the guides have to sort of shut us down a little bit. They have to slow us down. And that's, sometimes that's when we get sick. We get sick because we need to integrate a lot of energy and they need us to be still. And so the best way to get us to be still is by giving us a cold or giving us, not something major, but something that's just going to shut us down and make us rest. So when you're feeling tired and lethargic and unmotivated, just be in that space and give yourself permission to be in that space without feeling like you're doing something wrong. She feels like she's doing something wrong because she has it programmed in her mind that she always has to be working hard and moving forward and getting content and sessions and videos and all those things. And they are very, very important, but she's also got to rest and take care of herself because she's receiving a lot of energies, and as all of you are, and it affects your physical body. So rest and take care of yourself when you have the opportunity.
That's good advice. I think a lot of us feel guilty when we're not building. We feel like we're here to be healers, but we're also feeling like we need to start building this future, and we feel guilty that we're perhaps not doing as much as we could. Do you have any advice?
It'll unfold. She knows this. She knows this. She knows this. Everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to unfold. She has learned that when she feels the motivation to move forward, she takes that motivation and she moves forward. She gets herself in a process where she feels guilty if she takes too much time to just take care of herself because she feels like she has this big mission, and she does have a big mission, but it's okay for it to unfold in what we like to say to her all the times: divine timing, divine timing, it will unfold. Every one of you has your own unique and individual missions, and they're all unfolding at the right time. When you push against and you try to make things happen before they're ready to happen, you create resistance, which ends up holding you back and slowing you down. So if you could just learn to be in the flow state every day, if you wake up and you feel you've got a lot of motivation to move forward with a project, do it. If you feel like just taking care of yourself and sitting outside and resting and being in nature and playing with your animals, do that, because it's so important right now that we're healing ourselves. We're integrating the light and energies that come in. When you're too busy and you're pushing yourself too hard, it's taking longer for that to happen. We just let go of that resistance and know that everybody is exactly where they need to be. Everything is right where it's supposed to be right now. It really is. We're not behind. We're right where we need to be. So just trust how you're feeling. Feel into the body. How do you feel in this day? And then do what feels good to you. Let go of the rest, and everything's going to unfold exactly when it's meant to.
Thank you. We've got so much to do, though. Do you feel we might live longer to get all of this done?
Yes, absolutely. Aging is going to change in the future as well.
Is there any healing, that beautiful being, that aspect of herself we saw today? Is there any healing she can provide, Heather?
Yes, they are very connected. She's always bringing in energies for her to keep her calm and balanced and help her when she's feeling challenging energy surface.
Is there any healing we can bring into the eyes today? Could you tell us about the eyes?
Just hearing that the eyes are shifting.
Mm.
The eyes are going through a transformation.
Is there anything she can do to help, soothe?
We can bring in some white light to try and strengthen the optical nerves,
Okay, let's allow some white
making them
light.
stronger.
Let's visualize that now. Some white light coming in, soothing and repairing any damage, healing, helping with that shift in the eyes, that transition, that white light to swirl around the eyeball, the eyelid, all the way around the back of the eye, even across the back of the nose, filling every space behind the eyes and in the eye. I want you to start to feel that tingling and becoming lighter in the eyes.
It's going to take some time for those to balance out, but they will eventually. She'll have a little trouble seeing for a while, but they're gonna heal and become stronger. She just needs to be patient, give it a little time.
Very good. So Heather and I were discussing before our session that we both feel we have a bit of extra weight. Can you tell us more about this, particularly Heather? But is this a general thing people are finding, or is this something she needs to change within herself?
The bodies are adjusting right now. There's lots happening within the individual body, especially those who are really doing the healing work and integrating more of those energies. So sometimes it puts the body into, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like with the eyes, they're shifting. So right now they're going through a process where the focus is a little bit more challenging. They're going through an upgrade process, but in that, sometimes it has to get a little bit worse before it gets better. It's very similar to what you're going through on Earth right now. It has to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. The bodies are going through that too, which is why we stress how important it is to eat healthy, to drink lots of water, to put good, healthy fruits and vegetables in your body, because your body is going through a process of integrating a lot of energies right now, a lot of those codes, a lot of frequencies that are coming in, and it's having to do all that while you're putting in foods and things into the body that aren't of the highest frequency and vibration. So if you can imagine, you've got high frequency energy coming into the body that's trying to integrate, and you're putting in low frequency foods and liquids into the body, and it's just creating a bit of chaos. So we would say, be patient and allow the body to do what it needs to do. Try not to focus so much on the excess weight. It's going to fluctuate for a while as the body adjusts. The best thing that you can do to support the body is to eat the good foods that we suggest, the fruits, the vegetables, things that aren't processed. We do say drink less alcohol, things like that, because that does put a toxic energy into the body. Unfortunately, it's okay in small amounts. It really is. It's not going to affect you, but too much of it, it's fighting with the frequencies that are coming in. So it's like you've got high frequency energy, but then you're putting low frequencies in there, and it's just sort of in a battle, and it can create more of a chaotic environment in the body, and the body can respond by holding on to some extra weight. It's just going to fluctuate a little bit. But in order to move through that, the healthier that you can make your diet, the better the body is going to do. And eventually you will not have to worry about these things because the foods are going to become cleaner. You're not going to have the processed foods like you do now. You're going to desire to eat things that are of a higher frequency and vibration because you're going to have an understanding and awareness of how that affects the physical body. And you're not going to want to put those things in. Right now, you're fighting against programming and you're fighting against what you've had in your environment for so long. And that feels comfortable. And it's easy to grab those things that you've just been used to eating for so long. And that's okay. We understand that, that's the way that humans are right now. Eventually, you're just not going to resonate with those. And it's okay that you are at the moment. Just do your best to try to substitute as much healthy food as you can for those things that you know that they hold a lower frequency and that are going to create more resistance in the body, and you'll start to see some changes in that.
Beautiful. I think we're trying our best.
It's not easy, and it's okay. And she struggles with it. She really struggles with it because she does enjoy drinking wine in the evenings, and we've told her before that that's okay. It's just you have to be careful because that absolutely it's it does create an energy, a lower frequency energy in the body. Occasionally is okay, but if you do it too often, it can really create that sort of not resistant environment, but it's like the body sort of fighting against itself with everything that's happening right now, all the shifts and changes that are going on within your body. There's so much happening that you just can't see right now. So it's your humanness fighting against all of this new that's coming in, and it's a process, but it'll balance out.
Do you get the sense that our bodies will change structure in any way
Oh, they'll become
internally?
much lighter. They'll become so much lighter. You will need less food. Um, you'll depend more on the energy. It's just like what we showed her at the beginning in that life where she was channeling in energy. That's that body that she saw was so skinny. I mean, it's very, very thin, very long, thin arms, long, thin fingers, no fat. There's no fat on that body because the majority of what they take in is through the hands, through the body. It's energy, and they integrate that into their system, and that is what fuels them. So eventually, you will not have such a dependence on food. Um, you will be channeling in energy in a similar way and bringing that into the body. Um, did I answer your question? I think I lost it again.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
I was seeing what they were showing me with the the thin person. We won't need the food like we do now. We'll still have it, but we just won't need it as much.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Perfect. So, how do we know if we have removed everything our client needs removing? Is there a way for us to tune into that?
Well, we know that she's been asking and asking and asking for better and more effective ways to clear off the energies. And we would say that this will come. It will come, and you will have more of an intuitive ability to clean and clear these things off. But right now, where you are, you just have to do them in the way that you're doing them. And unfortunately, it can be a very tedious process. You have to keep in mind that these entities and energies, they also have free will. And, this is why it can be hard to remove an earthbound spirit sometimes because their free will is holding them to that person and they don't want to go. And until you can convince them that they need to cross over, they will sometimes stay there. So it's the same thing for us on the other side. We're always there to help. The archangels are always there to help, and we are trying to get them off. But sometimes we are also working against the free will of the entity. So it can make it a little difficult, and it can make it a little more tedious. And it depends on the consciousness level of the client. If they're able to go deep enough where you can have that multi-layered connection, where you can have a conversation with the client, with their entity, with a guide or an archangel as to what's going on, that makes it a little bit easier to do the clearing. But not all clients can connect in that way. So you just have to trust what they're getting, what they're feeling, or what they're sensing. We're always over there doing the work, but it's not always as easy as sometimes you on this side think it is. We can't always just rip or pop an entity out. There's an unwinding, there is a disconnection that has to happen, and that can be a slow process. We showed Heather this in the session that she did with Sheila, where Archangel Michael came in and he worked step by step through a lot of what he was doing. And she could see how long it took him to trace the origin of the entity back to the planet that it was connected to, what he did in order to disconnect that energy, and then how he had to sort of unwind and disconnect that energy from Sheila. It was a process. And sometimes from this side as practitioners, you want or you feel like things should happen very quickly, and you're not giving it enough time, which is okay because you don't have the ability to see. You're just going off of what's coming to you. We would say that we want you just to trust that you have guides, whoever it is that you choose to call upon. We're all there. We're all there to help because we're all part of the team that's doing this work. You would not be doing this work if you weren't meant to do it. So we want you to trust that you have the guides on the other side that are assisting. And when you ask us to help, no matter who that is, we're helping, but sometimes we can't just get everything cleared off. We can't just pop the energy off right away. There's a process, and sometimes it even takes a little bit longer than the session allows. We continue working in the background even after the session to do the work that needs to be done. So when you're dealing with some of these bigger things, just try to have more patience and allowing. Know that we're right there. We will come in and take those things off. Sometimes, though, we can't get everything off in that one session. It's just energetically, um, it it would be have too much of effect on the system. So we just do what we can to get the system as clear as possible. And if the client needs another session, they will either be guided back to you or they'll be guided to another practitioner down the road that can continue that work.
Wonderful, thank you. Is there a particular guide, ascended master, or angel we should be calling in, particularly for the larger demonic entities we find, or does it not matter?
You can call in whoever you feel guided to work with. Over on this side, it doesn't matter to us because we all work as one. We're all connected. So if you're wanting to work with just the guides of the person and those guides can't do what they need, those guides will call the beings that they need. They will call upon Archangel Michael. They will call upon Metatron for AI if they need it. They will call upon Jesus. They will call upon whoever is part of sort of your soul connection, because everybody has different connections that they're connected to. throughout the different incarnations that they've had along their soul path, their soul journey. So that's why some people feel more connected to this group of beings, and other people are like, I don't feel connected to them at all. It's just part of your soul journey, who you resonate and who you've connected with along the way that creates a little bit stronger connection. But over on this side, we work together. So if there's something that's needed and the guides that you're working with or you're calling upon can't do it, we will ask for extra assistance and we will bring in who is needed.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. Is there a way other than through hypnosis we can clear people of entities and attachments?
Eventually, as you tune in more to your gifts and abilities, there are people that can do this work. You might consider them mediums, people that can tune into the energies and do that clearing. And as we heal and shift, you're going to see people tapping into more of those abilities. They'll activate when their time. It's just not time quite yet. Right now, we want you to use all of your inner senses. We want you to strengthen the intuition and that inner knowing. Eventually you will be able to see it and it'll become easier, but this is just part of the process of strengthening your gifts and abilities. You sort of have to start out here and work your way to the bigger gifts and abilities, and they'll come, and you'll eventually. We told her before, she's eventually going to be able to just take her hands, the power in her hands, and just clear stuff off. So it'll happen.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to know if her pet Willow was ready to leave when she did, and if there was anything else she could have done.
It was her time. She only wanted to be here for a short period. It was just part of her path and her journey. She came in to have an experience here on Earth and to connect with Aspen. They will have future lifetimes together. So this was an opportunity for them to come together in this life, have an Earth experience together, and be able to bond energetically. The next life they have, if they choose an Earth life together, will be as sisters again. It was her time. Her body was shutting down. It wasn't anything that she couldn't have changed it. It was Willow's choice, and she knows this. She absolutely knows, and she knew it when it was happening. Her intuition is very strong, and we just want her to trust that what she's getting is correct, what she's feeling. She knew not to take her to the vet that day because she knew not to take her to the vet that day because she was going to go. And Willow wanted to be held. She did. She held her for the entire day. And she loved her, and she crossed over so beautifully. And all of Heather's angels and guides were right there to welcome her home. And even her dogs were there. Riley and Fletcher were there to greet her. And she just wants her to know that she was given the most beautiful life while she was here, and that she came to experience these challenges because she needed to overcome some things, and she needed to have that experience. And it also helped Heather learn more natural ways of healing the body, having to work with Willow and bring in natural medicines because she saw what the doctors were doing and what they were giving her, and it wasn't helping her. And so it helped Heather to learn about natural healing and get on that path, which she is more now. And Willow came to experience what she came to experience, and she had an amazing, amazing experience. And Aspen's okay. She's so strong. She misses her. She's a little lonely, but she's okay and she's going to be fine. And she doesn't need to worry about her. And Aspen's going to stay as long as she chooses. And she just needs to understand that when a pet chooses to leave, it's their choice. And it's okay to try and help them to stay a little bit longer, but you have to realize when to let go. And Heather did. She realized and she let go. And Willow has the big mission. She has a big mission. She's also a healer. She's also a healer. And that was part of them coming together in this life, was to teach each other and to help each other heal.
That's so beautiful. Is there anything else Heather needs to know today? Are there any messages from her guides?
We're so proud of her. We're so proud of everything that she's doing. And we just want her just to enjoy this time. Just enjoy it. We know there's lots of little bumps and challenges and things to overcome, but she's doing so well and she overcomes it and she moves forward and she's healing herself and she's healing others. And we're so pleased with everything that she does, and she needs to go a little bit easier on herself. This is why she struggles in her sessions, because she wants everything to be just so perfect and right and just so. And if it's not, it just creates an energy, a block within her. And she knows she can do this. She's done beautifully today. It's just letting that mind go a little bit more, getting out of resistance. Yeah, we're just very proud of her, and she's doing a great job.
She is indeed. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for all your guides, your angels, for being here with us today, for all the healing and the wisdom we have received from them. I would like to ask them just to recede back to the time and space, reality they belong, with all of our love and so much thanks.